now. And I thank God that when we first got started, the great Joe Enser, the person that mentored us, had a moratorium on making money. And moratorium is a word that means he didn't allow you to write business. The only way you could write business was when you got your securities license. Then you were allowed to write life business. And at first we didn't understand why was that, what was the reason behind that. And the first time I actually wrote an app, I got in trouble for writing an app. Imagine going to your vice president, handing them a life application, filled out on paper. Now it's all online, but back in the day it was on paper. And you hand them the paperwork in a folder, and he opens up the folder and says, "What's this, Ray?" And then he slams it closed and throws it on the ground. And says, "Who told you to do that? We don't do that." Now, for those of you that have written business, some of you got recognized, and that's awesome, but back in the day, you would have gotten in trouble. And the way he talked to me, I thought he was going to fire me right there. And I was like, but he goes, "Who did you do that? Who's that app on?" I said, "That's on my system." He said, "Take it back." I'm like, "Take it back?" And then I was really confused because I was in a meeting on a Saturday morning that I wasn't supposed to really be in, because what happened was we shared an office in Terrytown, New York, with Rick Cash. Oh, what a name, right? Rick Cash. He's in CNS, so he actually overrides Bill Whip.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he's just kind of cash guy, right? But
Cash.
we shared an office with him, and one of the guys that was on his team was a guy named Pedro Morales, who had a guy named Eddie Ayala, who was a cop like me, and I knew him from the police department because I was a police officer. Those who don't know, yeah, NYPD, blue. It's nothing like Law and Order, nothing like SVU. I mean, I remember testifying hundreds of times in court, and before I testified, I never heard that sound. You know that sound? Dun dun. Never heard that. And so I knew him from police department, and I'm in this meeting, and then my guest came late for a Saturday morning meeting, because we had a 9:30 out meeting, and they came late. They got there about 10:30. I was like, "Oh man, it's almost over." So then one of the guys said, "Hey Ray, why don't you put him in our out meeting? Ours don't start till 11:15. So I'm like, "Oh, all right." So that was Eddie's meeting, Eddie. So sure enough, I stayed later. Everybody from our team left, and I stayed. And I'm sitting in the out room, and then they left. "You don't have to stay here. Come with us in training." And I looked at them like, "Training? What's that?" Because I had never been in training. All I ever knew was the op meeting.
Wow.
Every time I came to the hotel, it was an op meeting. Every time I went to the office, it was an op meeting. There was no training like this.
Wow.
So I'm like, "Training? Okay." So I went with him, and he puts me in a room like this, training, and they start talking, and the guy starts handing out checks. First time I had ever seen anybody get a check from Primary. Wow. I'm in the business probably 3.5, 4 months, right? And then I see Eddie Ayala get a check, and it's a comma check, so he had to dance. First time I ever saw somebody dance for a comma check. I'm brand new at it, I'm like, "What the heck? I'm gonna dance, what is that?" So he's dancing, they put the music on, he started dancing, he got his check, and he went and sat down. All I remember was that he got a check. And I knew him. So my mind was, I'm gonna talk to him and find out how he got that check. Because imagine being in the business 4.5 months, 5 months, and that's the first time you see somebody get paid, right? For the whole time, I was always just recognized for group, how many guests you got? Yeah, you got paid. Oh, no checks. Never saw a check. So when the meeting is over, they said, "Okay, guys, the op meeting's over, go get your guest." I forgot about my guest. I ran to the front. "Eddie, let me see that check." He goes, "What? Let me see the check." He shows it again. I'm looking at it like, "Says Primerica?" really, he takes it from snatch and he said, look at this, Ray, let me show you something. This is what? You look like this on the desk. They don't bounce. I'm like, man, what did you do? How did you? And he's walking back to the office out of the training room, right? And I'm walking on and said, hey, how'd you get that check? He goes, what do you mean how to get that check? I wrote an app. Yeah, I said, what's that? He goes, you don't know what an app is? I'm like, no. What's an app? He goes, are you life licensed? I said, yeah. He goes, your life insurance license, you don't know what an app is? I'm like, no. He goes, Ray, you're the #1 recruiter. You're your wife's #1 recruiters in the state. And you don't know what a life app is? I'm like, no. What is it? And he takes me in his office. His office had like 5 desks. There was other guys that worked in the office that were kind of full time. And they're like, and he goes, guys, look, this is Ray Costello. Meet the guys here. You know, how you doing, guys? And I want to know about the check. I need no guys. I want to get that check. You know? And he goes, do you believe he's the #1? What level are you? I said, right now I'm a district. He's the #1 personal recruiter in the Northeast. He don't know what an app is, and he's been licensed for how long? A month and a half. A month and a half. He's like, how many recruits you had last month, Ray? I said 77 as a district leader. And he goes, and everybody started laughing. All the guys started laughing. I'm like, come on, guys. I'm not like you guys yet. I'm learning. And then he goes, all right. They sat down. Then he started talking about it. What'd you do to get that check? What exactly did you do? And he goes, I wrote an app. I said, could you show me what an app is? So he went to that, go ahead and showed me an app. And I'm looking at it like, 12 pages. I'm like, man, a lot of information. It's not as easy as nothing. I'm like, wait a minute. And I said, I'm reading it. It said, just like an application for a credit card, name, address, phone number, social security number, date of birth, you know. And I'm like, what does this mean? Modal premium. And he goes, you don't know what modal premium is? I said, Eddie, come on, stop, man. I don't know. I said, pretend this is a police accident report, and you teach me how to do an accident report. Because he was a cop, he knew accident report. I know accident report, right? So he goes, right. Here's what you do. You take it to somebody, and you ask how much insurance they need, and you write it up, and you give them the premium. They give you a check, and you bring it to the company, send it to the company, they send you a check. I'm like, that's it? No, that's it. I said, well, how do you figure out the price? And he hands me a little index card about this big. And he says, on the card, it was like a little typewritten chart. 25-year-old, 100,000 X dollars. 30-year-old, 100,000, like that. And on the back was 250. 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. And I said, what if the person I'm talking to is 32, not 30? He said, well, then go to the next price, the higher one, and they'll refund them the difference and the app will stay on the books. Okay. Simple enough, right? Yeah. And he goes, wherever it says signature, whoever you're doing the app on, have them sign it there. Don't worry about it, just have them sign. I mean, that's it. He goes, that's it. And I'm looking at it. What about these questions? Blood, this is, just ask them if they ever been sick. Ever been in the hospital? Ever had cancer? I said, just answer the question, yes or no. It's simple. Okay. So he gave me the application. And he's telling me how to do it. And I can go and I'm excited because now I could go write an app, right? I knew what the app meant. So I go to my car, I start driving home. And then I remembered my gas. I turn around on the highway, I go back, and I pull into the driveway, into the parking lot. They're standing outside, 3 guys. And I'm like, I pull up, I'm so sorry I'm late. I had an emergency meeting with the president of the company. They're talking about app. I wasn't lying. And they go, okay, so you're interested? Yeah, great. So I sat with them briefly, talked to them in the parking lot. They left. I got in my car. I ran right to my sister's house. I go, Diana, yeah, you need life insurance, sit down here. That was my presentation. Because I didn't know no presentation, I didn't know presentation, no, because I didn't know how to write it down, but that was my presentation. So I thought, how you spell Diana? She goes, you don't know how to spell all that school, but I don't want to make a mistake. So she spelled for me, I said, okay. I said, do you want to use your Costello or you want to use your married name? She goes, no, use Costello. No. I'm like, what's your date of birth? She goes, I'm not telling you my date of birth. I said, how old are you? She goes, I'm not telling you how old I am. I said, I got it for that. She goes, all right, I'm not telling you how old I am. So what's your date of birth? So you give me your date of birth. Finish answering some of the questions, and I said, okay, I need a check and a voided check. So she goes, how much is the check? I said, do you want 100,000 or 250? Those are the only two charts I had. On the index card, it was 100,000, or the other side was 250. Well, what you got, either 100 or 250. So she goes, 100 is all right. I said, okay. And I'm like, okay, I need a check and a voided check. She goes, who do I make the check out to? I was like, oh. Did you not know what it said right there? Did you see the name of the company?
Yeah, I know.
She wrote it NBL, man. And I'm like, that bullet. Then she goes, what else? I said, I need a voided check. She goes, what's a voided check? I said, I can't believe you don't know what a voided check is. I didn't know what a voided check was either. So she gives me her check and she goes, well, did you fill it out? All right, so I wrote on the check, you know where it says paid to the order of? Voided check. That's why I made it out. She goes, do I gotta sign it? I said, yeah, you gotta sign that. I didn't know. She goes, do I put the same $70.80 on this? I said, yeah, it's a voided check. What the hell? I didn't know that. I didn't know. So I take that, I put it in a folder, I left. And she said, as I'm doing the application, she goes, you look like you don't know what you're doing. I'm like, I'm licensed by the state, how can you say that? So I left. Then 2 days later, I give it to Ralph Thunder, who was Joe's assistant, and he looks at it, he goes, he closes, where'd you get? And by his tone and all my 10 years of police department training, I could tell I had done something wrong. So I'm like, where'd I get what? And he goes, where'd you get this? I'm like, what's that? She goes, you had the bag, don't show Joe that.
Oh, man.
That's like somebody saying to you, go show that what you just did to Keith R. So I go out into the hall, the meeting room. It's a big op room in the hotel, the Grand Hyatt Hotel, the main ballroom. And Joe and are surrounded by people, like 10 people deep, listening to him talk. Right? Now I didn't know this. I found this out months later. But I'm just standing there with the folder, like patiently. I'm like, what do I say? What I did? Nobody told me. And then Ralph told me later on, like a couple of days, Ray, you know when you went to see Joe? And I told, he goes, I was behind you and I was getting Joe's attention. I was going like this. And then he looked at me and he saw me and I said, so Joe goes, oh, Ray Costello, what's up? You got something? And it was like Moses parting the Red Sea. I opened up for me. Mouth said to shoulders. That's when he opened up. He goes, where'd you get that? We don't do that. So, I swear, I thought he was gonna fire me. And he goes, take that back. So that night I took it back to my sister. I said, look,
Oh, man.
I gotta give you a check back. She goes, I knew you didn't know what you were doing. Where's my social security number? Gave you my date of birth. I can't believe I gave you my date of birth. Give me that. She ripped up the paper. She was like, how stupid are you? Now she's my senior sister by 8 years. Right? So she was kind of ready. Yeah, if I wanted to go ice skating, she was the one that took. You know, right? She used to kick my ass all day. Oh, so now I'm telling her what to do about her investments and everything. So I go back to the office and I'm like real nervous to go on to the next meeting because Joe was gonna be there. I thought he was gonna fire me in front of everybody. He was call me up in front of the room and you're fired, get out, you're no longer part of Primera. He didn't do that to him. Came to another meeting, then they had a training class. First training class I'd ever been with Joe in the hotel. So Ralph W. Ray, you go into that room when we're having training. Now he said training, so I remember the training I went to in Terrytown, like, oh, training, okay. I'm walking over like the train, like I know what's going on. Carol says, where are we going? So we gotta go to training. She goes, training? For what? Because we had always saw the yacht meeting, right? So we go and sit in training, and he starts talking, he goes, where's Ray and Carol for stuff? Where's Ray and Carol? I raised my hand, he goes, I gotta hand it to Ray and Carol, they were ahead of the curve. Effective immediately, we're taking off the sale moratorium, you could go out and write business, so Ray, whoever you wrote that app on, you go sit down and rewrite and submit it, we'll accept. And they always clapping. And I went from being afraid and being stuck in chicken, you know, I thought, he turned chicken crap into chicken salad in one sentence, you know? And he goes, congratulations. Now you can write this. That month wrote 20,000 of it.
Oh.
Why? Because we had a team. I mean, imagine you have people coming up to you and say, you know that insurance they talk about in the meeting? I have one, here it is, the protection policy. Could you look at it and change it for me? No. I can't do that. I'll get fired. You gotta wait. Wait for what? Your upline to get licensed. You my upline. I know. You gotta wait for your upline to get licensed. And I was already licensed, but that was the excuse I used. So I wouldn't have to try to explain the moratorium because I couldn't explain it. You can't do it, you know? And there were people that would come to me with that. So imagine if somebody came out of the op and said, I think I have one of those policies. The cash value policy, the rip-off one you guys talking about. You know what most of you would do if your guest said that? You'd be like, you have that at home? Yeah. Oh, where do you live exactly? So. I was just gonna go by that way. I can stop by and look at it for you tonight. And you forget about the IBA. You forget about hiring that person. Because you're like, that's gonna be at least $500. I'm making the maintenance, you know? I gotta pay my rent. And you forget about recruiting the person. Because now they told you they have a cash value policy. That was why Joe Enser did that. So we wouldn't get, oh, you have life insurance? Really? And he turned into the Wolfman ready to attack. Because that's what happens. Once you get the feeling of the money you could make here, and how fast you can make it, your eye goes away from recruiting somebody. Money. Money. Even if it's a $50 a month app, that's still a couple $100 I'm making. It's worth taking a ride over their house. If they don't have a policy and they want one, then I get one of those policies, but you guys don't bring it down, because I don't have no insurance, I'm thinking about getting some. You forget about some. Yeah, Well, do it right now, we can do it right now, come on, I got the application, pull out my phone. We can do it right now, how old are you, what you did work, you're already writing the app. And you forgot about recruiting them. Cause they didn't come here to write, for you to write life insurance on them. They came here to make money, to change their life, to potentially get a career move. But because there's money involved that you can make, put that on the side. You can do that and build a business. Now, how many of you really want to be free? Well, now, you all have your own definition of free in your head. For some of you, free is you don't have a job. And you can work for America and make $20,000 or $30,000 a year, and you feel like you're free. For 30, 40,000, 50,000, even $100,000 a year income, you're not free. You're not free. You make $100,000 a year in this business, you're not free. You're better off than you are now, maybe, but you're not free. You know what free is? Free is the promised land. I call the promised land $300,000 a year income in override, where you don't have to make a phone call to get a client, where you don't have to prospect anybody to get a gas, where you don't have to write an application to make money, where you have a team that's built, that they write business, that they go out and help families, and you get an override, and you make $300,000 a year in override. That's the beginning of being free. So, the beginning of being free. Because at 300,000, you can pretty much live wherever you want in New York, can't you? Right?
Yeah.
$300,000 a year, that's not a bad income.
No.
I mean, think about it. Let's call it $25,000 a month. If you were making $25,000 a month, and you didn't have to leave your bed, you didn't have to leave your house, you didn't have to go to the office, you didn't have to make a phone call, you didn't have to call a client, you don't have to follow up on an app, you don't care if somebody charged back. That's the beginning of being free. See, Matthew's on his way to being free. Chris and Tiki are there. They got a team like you guys, running business, bam, 25,000 in premium. That's a big deal. That's RVP on it. Okay? And when you get that going, that's when it starts to happen. It starts to begin to evolve. Because then it takes on a life form by itself, on its own. See, like our business, I haven't sat with a client in 26 years. I haven't recruited anyone, went out prospecting in 26 years. I haven't sat down to make phone calls, to write an app, or to get a client to come in or a recruit to come in 26 years.
Wow.
But they pay us on average $95,000 a month.
Wow.
I mean, that and food stamps,
Let's go.
I'm making through weekend. Now, you hear numbers like that, and the reality is, for some of you, that's so far out of what you're used to, you don't believe it. You don't believe that could happen for you, because maybe nobody you know that you're close to is doing anything like that, has any kind of lifestyle like that, that you could see how they live like that. You never went to a barbecue when somebody makes that kind of money. Because the barbecue, when they make that kind of money, it's filet mignon on the barbecue. There's clams on full and they pop open on the barbecue. There's lobster tails on the barbecue. different than they plump while you cook them hot dogs. Little different than the knockoff soda. When you get a real Pepsi or a real Coke. And if you want something stronger. There's top shelf stuff there, not bottom shelf. Not cigarettes. Crown Royal. It's Patron. Different. Right? See, when you get up in that echelon of making money, I'm sorry, but some of you are gonna have to start learning how to speak some Italian.
Right.
You have to learn how to talk to people that you go to and find a Gucci's. Salvador Ferragamo. Louis Vuitton. You learn about things like Red Bar. You learn things like these Jimmy Choo. It's different. Fendi. That. Now, to help you expand your brain and get out of thinking poor, Joe did this with us. He said, what car would you drive when you're making 25,000 miles a month? What car would you drive? Because at that point, you can drive any car you want. What car would you buy? Or at least whichever one financially fits you better. What car would you drive? Porsche. Well, Porsche. Which one? Rolls Royce. Okay. Nah, 300,000.
Bugatti.
Bugatti. Well, let's start with a Porsche, because that's what I said years ago when Joe said this. I said, a Porsche. He goes, which Porsche? I said, 944. And back in that day, the glass in the back was the whole glass was back, was glass, the whole back. And he goes, Ray, you ever drove one of those? I said, no. He goes, go test drive one. I'm like, I don't know if they'll even let me test drive. He goes, well, if they don't let you, I said, go dress up nice. And go into the dealership and start looking at them. A salesperson will come up to you and say, hey, how you doing? Like that car? And then say, yeah, I want to see if I can test drive one. And they'll say, you planning to buy one? They're gonna ask you that question. You say, yeah. You say, yeah, I'm planning to buy one. You just don't tell them when you're planning to buy it. And if they question that, you say to the salesperson, are you in this business of selling cars for the short term or the long term? And they will always say the long term. Say, okay, look, I can't afford this car right now, but in 6 months to a year, I will be able to afford this car. And whichever dealership and whichever salesperson allows me to test drive it, when I can't afford this car, that's what I'm gonna buy it from. So would you like me to buy it from you in 6 months to a year? Or go out to Sayasu and test drive it there? And when I did that, the guy said, let me have your license. I gave him a license, I made a copy, said I'll go get the plate, and he took me on a test drive. And I test drove it. Wow. Came back, he said next to me, he goes, so what do you think? So I love it. He goes, okay, great. Let me get some information from you. So he gets out, and then I go to try to get out. I'm not a little guy. And sitting on a porch like that, you're almost sitting on the floor. It goes just really low, and I'm sitting there, my feet are like parallel to the floor. So I go to get out, and I'm like. And he's standing right there, he puts his hand out, I grab my hand, he pulls me out the car. I'm like, oh. He goes, so should we write something up? I said, no. He goes, why not? I said, because you're not gonna be there. Every time I have to get out the car, I can barely get out that car. I can't buy that car. I'm too big. And he goes, well, what? I said, sorry, thanks anyway. And I left. The next meeting, I said, Joe. He goes, what? I said, when I went and test drove the Porsche. He goes, yeah, and I said, I can't fit in the Porsche. He goes, yeah, that's why I said to go test drive. He would always put us in positions to expand our business. And how many have ever gone into a Gucci store? Go in next time you're in the mall and try some stuff on. Yeah. Go to Christian, New York and try on some red bottoms.
Not a Christmas New York.
Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton, try on some red bottoms, try on some Gucci shoes. Try on a suit. And watch how it feels on your skin. It feels a lot different when you go like this to a shirt that is $2,700 than the shirt you bought at Target for $6.99. So it feels a little different on your skin. The shoes feel a lot better. They look a lot better too. Because if you don't try it and see what it's like, you don't know how the other side of success lives. You don't know how it feels. You know, I remember there was a store named Barney's, New York, on 17th Street in Manhattan. I used to go there all the time. Go to Canelli, you know, and try on the suits there. Canelli, to buy a Canelli suit starts at $5,500. $5,500 for a jacket, and it's like that much. Then I used to try them on. Yeah. What's up, you know? But they'd have that mirror, you know, they go like that. Look at it. This.
That's right.
And then I look at the price tag and go, I don't want to bring them stitches while I'm taking it off. Hand it back to the guy, said, I don't like that color. You ever go into a store and you look for something that you want to buy? And you go around and first salesperson comes up and says, may I help you? No, I'm just looking. You just look. You seen something new that you like, you came to the store to find it, now you're looking at all the racks to find it, you find it, and then you go look at the sleeve, and you go, it's not my size. It's not your wallet size. When are you gonna be sick and tired of being sick and tired of having to do that? That can change here for you.
Yes.
That will change here for you. If you do the work and listen to Fritz and Tiki and listen to what they say to do and do what they share with you to do. Stop being so stubborn. Stop being so proud. Suck it up. Because if you want to be somebody, you got to change who you are. You got to change how you think. You got to change your vision of where you're going. See, climbing the ladder of success starts with one step. The first one. And then you get on that step, and you put your hands up, and you pull yourself up to the next one. And then you pull yourself up to the next one. And those steps are here like you get the first 10, 15 guests. That's step one. Step two is you get your license. That's another step. You go up another step on the ladder. And you start sitting with a client, you do a lab, you write some business, you make some money, that gives you a little confidence to go to the next step. Then you get your securities license, then you start talking about people, then you get the next step. And the more steps you take, the faster you take the next one, because you start believing that you belong at the top. But don't be fooled by the people at the bottom. Don't be fooled, because they'll try to pull you right down. That ain't gonna be real. How's that ever gonna happen for you? Nobody we know makes that kind of money. How's that gonna be for you? What school did you go to? You didn't even graduate. You're not gonna amount to nothing. I don't know how many times I heard stuff like that. Don't be fooled by the fools. Don't listen to the naysayers. Because the naysayers will take the dream away. And you know that car that you want to go test drive, maybe you're not gonna get up to Moxie to go to a dealership and test drive it. Go to the hardware store and buy a key ring with that emblem on it. Maybe it's a Mercedes, maybe it's a Rolls Royce, maybe it's a Lexus, whatever it is. Buy the key ring. Carry that around. And the next time somebody that you know starts telling you that this is not gonna work for you, the next time they say something bad to you, that this isn't gonna be real, it's not for you, this can't be, go get a real job, I told you that you could, and you start listening, take that key ring out of your pocket and give it to them. Because then you're giving your dream back to them. But you'll never get that tree if you listen to them. Dreams come true here.
Right.
I grew up in Spanish Harlem. I used to play stickball with the Young Devils on 115th Street. I grew up with guys that their name was Sly, Dorothy, Blackie, Youngblood. And all 14 guys I grew up with are dead. One of them made it out, like I did. He became an FBI agent. Well, I became a cop. We're the only two living guys from 116th Street and Park Avenue that grew up in that era on that block. Don't let anybody take your dream away. Keep dreaming about it. Keep thinking about it. Go get that key ring and put it by your bed every night when you sleep and look at it before you go to sleep. Put your head down. Because maybe that'll give you the oomph to get up in the morning and go out and prospect. Maybe that'll give you the oomph to make that extra phone call. Maybe when you make the phone calls, you put that, go get the brochure, order the brochure from the dealer. Get that book, put it up on the wall. Get the color you want. Start dreaming about it. Because if you don't start dreaming about it, then it becomes a daydream. And daydreams don't happen. That's all. Because you wake up, you're awake. Don't let anybody take away your dream of being successful here. Because here it'll happen. And my wife has helped me with that many, many times. Many times. You know, there were times when I'd go on an appointment and it wouldn't happen. And I'd get upset and I started wondering if it was me. And one day she said to me, "Didn't you listen to Art Williams?" And I'm like, "Yeah, all the time." She goes, "Don't you remember it's a mathematical equation?" And then I remember it, and I said, "Yeah, 2 + 2 is 4. And I said, if I go to a client and I show them that 200,000 is better than the 25,000 policy he's got, and he says no to me, that don't mean he's right. They're wrong." And I had to remember that. She reminded me that 2 + 2 is 4. Now, if you go to somebody, you talk to them and they say, "No, it's 3. Does that mean they're right because they said, "No, it's 3, I don't want it"? No. We right. More coverage is better than less coverage. Getting out of debt is better than being in debt. Having 12% interest on your account is better than getting 1% at the bank. Every day, we're right. Don't let anybody take this away from you. And I want to introduce my better 7/8. She's my spleen. She's my kidney. She's my liver. She's a TikTok in my clock. The one and only Carol.
Good evening, guys. Good to be here. Well, congratulations to all of you that got the opportunity to get promoted. I know some of you guys, what? Oh, my sparks are gonna do this. You know, I know some of you guys did get promoted. Your butt's burning. But, you know, guys, we are so excited to be here, obviously, and, you know, Ray was telling you, and as silly as it sounds, believe it or not, he laughs about it now, but when you're going through it, you're not really laughing about it, okay? You got a lot of emotions going through, maybe you're mad, you're frustrated, you're disgusted, you're like, is this really gonna work for me? And then you start second guessing yourself, and some of you guys don't go and talk to your upline, shame on you, because your upline is gonna the one gonna cast the vision of what the opportunity could really look for you. And I say that because a lot of times, you know, a lot of us, we wanna win, but are we willing to do what's necessary to win? Okay, our coaches tell us that we need to recruit so we can go build a big business, so we can have a successful business at that. And then we resist our coaches from actually really recruiting. Then we think setting up an appointment and maybe getting on an appointment would be the solution for us to learn, okay? And you gotta understand, you always go for the recruit, and if you miss with the recruit, you can always go for the sale. Does that make sense? Some of us try to go for the sale to show the value, and then again, you can always turn around and possibly recruit that person too, okay? And so there's not just one-sidedness, you know, and some of us just go look for the money, but we don't go look for building. And you know, there's two ways you can build this business. You can actually max out or burn out. What do I mean by maxing out? You go do it all, you go after it, you get after it, you do whatever you gotta do, but you never focus on really building and growing a team. And one day you're just gonna get daggone frustrated and tired and say, I don't wanna do this so much, I'm just tired, okay? Or you're gonna, you know, or you're gonna build it. And you're gonna do that by recruiting and building other leaders. And your goal is to get to vice president. The only way really to get really to vice president and build real well is hiring and recruiting other team leaders. And it's very simple to do. I think this room, as packed as it is, I think it should be 2 times even more packed than what it is. I'm not saying you guys aren't doing a good job. I saw your numbers. You guys are doing great. And you should applaud yourself for that. So good job. Okay. But next month, there's no reason if we hit close to 60 by 60, there's no reason next month we can't be 120, 120, right?
Let's go.
Okay. And then that's all of us just putting in our 2 cents. All of us just chipping in. And some of us are going to work a little harder, and some of us are going to watch some people work. And you got to decide that you want to become more of a participator of the process. Okay, because together everyone's going to achieve more. Together we're going to go build something special. And as we build something special, that's going to elevate all of you guys to get to where you want to go and getting you to vice president. Because I think everybody wants to go to vice president, right? I didn't come here to go sell life insurance. I don't know what you guys came here for, but I didn't come here to go sell life insurance. Did you guys come here to sell life insurance? You're like, wait a minute, Carol, we sell life insurance, don't we? No, I didn't come here to sell life insurance. I came here to get rich.
That's right.
Okay, that's what I came here. What did you come here for? Okay, and how do you get wealthy? Joe Enster showed to us that if we were to build a solid foundation, it would allow us the opportunity to really become wealthy and not have to work hard forever. See, some of us, if you ever see anybody working hard for a very long time, and you feel like they've been spinning their wheels, this guy's been here for a long time, they're not where they need to be. And sometimes you could sway the direction of your business the wrong way because you measure yourself based on someone else. Get good at not measuring somebody else's success over yours. You got to realize that if you get after this and you go do what you got to do and you don't look left, you don't look right, you get after it and go make it happen, you'll surprise how good you are. And you'll go build something special in the opportunity. Does that make sense? Okay. Now understand, why do we want to go to RVP? It's not just to get to vice president. It's so that we can promote vice president. And every time you promote a vice president, that's a $50,000 pay raise to you, is it not? So if you have the opportunity to get I don't know where you work right now, but I don't think they ever offer you an opportunity to make $50,000. Okay, so you go to vice president, you're at 110, you promote a vice president, they make 100 grand, you make 50,000, right? You just gave yourself a pay raise, did you not, to 160? Then you go promote somebody else to vice president, now you're at 210, are you not? So you guys are trying to figure out the math. That's a problem, okay? Then you make another 50, where are we at?
60.
Count the math, okay? And the thing is, some of us, when we sit there, oh, I hate that we gotta recruit, I don't know, let me tell you, that's the biggest blessing of our business you could ever imagine. Because every time you recruit, you reinvent your business and you find talent that you didn't even realize that actually existed out there. Do you realize if you recruited like a key thought of today, you would override the whole big event that we're about to go to? Who's going to the event this week? I'm thinking about going to the event. You all need to get to that event because there's going to be about 5,000 people or more there, and there's going to be $15 million earners. If you feel you can't learn from that, I don't know what you're doing. Okay, there's something wrong. What was that? You said something? Oh, okay. So you said something. Okay, but the reason I say that is because we've never had a school that there's $15 million earners. That's the first thing. The other thing is if whoever you rub elbows with, they tell me who you hang around with, right? You probably become. So if you hang around enough millionaires, eventually you will become a millionaire because you start creating the mindset, the vision, the ideas, the focus, the intensity, and the realization that you deserve to win equivalent to them. We all don't start in that position. We all start from the beginning, the same place where you started. We all saw the presentation. We all saw, okay, can this really work for me? I hope so. They told me to bring some people. Okay, I'll bring a couple of people. Let's see what happens. Maybe some will quit. Oh, well, let me stay here. Stay strong. Keep on going. Let me go find a few more. Then you go hire a few people and they all quit. And you're like, oh, shoot, let me keep on going. Stay strong, right? And then you find a few that start to stick around. And then you start to lock arms. And as you start to lock arms with some of those soldiers, what starts to happen, you start to build something called substance. Some of us aren't even trying to build the substance that we truly deserve. And we all have to come to the realization, the only way we're going to build substance is being consistent. We got to keep on going no matter what. You got to be the strongest pillar in your fort. You can't be the weakest link, okay? It's like the chain. So there's the chain, you pull the chain, the weakest link is the one that's going to dislodge, right? You got to be the strongest no matter what. When you want to give up, you got to keep on going no matter what. You got to say, I got this, damn it, I'm going to RVP, nothing's stopping me but me, right? And then you got to continuously work on your mind. If you're not continuously working on your mind, the likelihood of becoming huge or great will be very unlikely. You got to realize if you're always self-improving, getting better, talking to your coaches and your mentors, and hanging around the right people. Some of us have a tendency to hang around with people that aren't winning. And then we listen to the ones that are not winning, and then we expect to win. You've got to hang around winners. Do we understand that? Okay? We understood that early on when we were coming into the business. We never hung around and told anybody what was going wrong and what was going right. We just said, look forward with the team. Come on, guys, let's go. We just keep on moving, keep on going. And before you know, we actually went to vice president in 6 months because we were recruited. Because of Joe's system, he told us, I want you to just go out there and go recruit. And we did. And we recruited and we talked to people. And some of you guys said, but recruiting is tough. No, it's not. There's so many people out there that are looking for bigger and better. Right. There's so many people that want more. Some of us are sitting there going out trying to profit. You want part-time, full-time? Nobody wants part-time, full-time income. Okay? I tell you right now, I got 2 jobs. You want to give me a third one? No, thank you. But if you get out there, you say, hey, I got a company, we're expanding, we're looking for some good people that want to make a lot of money. Do you know anybody? What you got? That's what they normally say, do they not?
Yeah.
And if you talk to people that way, well, tell me what you got. Listen, I'd like to introduce you to a couple of people. Let's talk. Give me your number. We go from there. Fair enough? Debbie, to believe it or not, this is not our first rodeo. We started in New York. We built in Arizona. Now we're building in Florida. And let me tell you, we're getting out there. We're talking to people. So guys, you got to understand, you sit here and sometimes people, yeah, but you don't know. I get people in school and they don't pass and they don't come back. If you got people a licensing problem, Maybe when they're in class, you should go visit them in class and see how they're doing. Go have lunch with them. Go buy them lunch and tell them how great it is. It's so great you're in class, man. You're gonna pass. It's awesome. We're gonna go build this thing. Let's go call a few people. Who do you know? Who can we get in front of? You gotta start creating the machine mindset. Some of us don't create that machine mindset because we're insecure or not sure. But if you don't know how to do it, ask your upline for help. Does that make sense? Okay, I say that because, you know, you gotta understand right now, we're on the eve of our school. It's such a time. If you guys aren't going, you're gonna miss it. You won't miss it. I want to tell you. It's gonna be freaking huge. We got Heckle Lamar that's gonna be doing a training. He hasn't done a training in 20-something years for anybody, and he doesn't do schools. I remember when we first got started in the business, we went to our first convention in 1995. Okay, we've been here for a little bit. We grew up in this business. Our kids were babies. Our kids are adults today. And believe it or not, it's unbelievable. In 1995, we saw Hector Lamarck, and he was talking about, he's a master teacher. And he teaches you on how to win and create a better mindset. And he's going to be at that school. He's going to speak 4 times. I don't know how I could press upon you. You need to get to that event because it's going to be such an opportunity. You don't want to miss out. Anybody that goes to that event, they're going to be 6 months steadfast, faster than the person that doesn't go. So you don't want to miss out. If you're sitting here on the fence, you're just trying to see if this is real or whatever. That's the best way to measure the measurement of the business. Not only that, you're going to see so much success, so much greatness that you're going to say to yourself, damn. But these guys could do what I could do. You're going to hear some speakers, and when they speak, you're like, this guy's a vice president? We got a conference call on Saturdays, no joke. And we got one guy, he stutters the whole time. I don't even understand what the heck he's saying. He makes over $100,000 a year. I said, this guy's a vice president? You guys can all identify with him, right? And imagine that, just to think, you know, you're going to be able to identify with somebody that you said, if that guy, that gal could do it, I could do double. And that's going to give you the confidence and the belief in yourself. You know why most people don't win in business? It's because they don't believe in themselves. They don't believe it's going to happen for them. They don't believe in the process, and they don't have enough faith in themselves. And our job is to help you, give you the confidence that you don't have so that you can do what you need to do. I remember when we first got started, I was like, man, if I can only make $10,000 a month. I was just, well, let me see, Lord, just let me see what it's like to make $10,000 a month. You know, we realized we could spend 10,000. Damn. If we can only make 20,000, I can live on 10, spend 10, right? Or save 10, I thought, right? We made 20, you know what we realized? We could spend 20. I said, you gotta be freaking kidding me. If I can only make 30, we could definitely put 10,000 away. We could live on 20. Life would be good, right? You realize we could still spend 30. What's the freak? Okay, now we make $100,000 a month. I said, damn, if we can only make 200,000, then we'd be rocking this thing. Guys, get your machine built. Stop letting people influence you and make you think that you're not supposed to win or become great at this business. Allow yourself the opportunity to just kind of sit there and say, damn it, I'm taking all the insecurity, all the unsureness away, and I'm going to go after this thing. I'm going to go talk to damn people. I mean, when I got started in this business, I was so daggone freaking shy that I was like, you know what? I don't know if I can do this. And I used to say to myself, these are the talks I have with myself. I'm going to tell you right now. I said, you know, I don't, what are people going to think if I go up to them and talk? I don't know if I could do that. I said, yeah, you want to stay broke? Nope. Well, if you don't want to be broke, get out of your own way. Talk to myself. Nobody had to tell me that. I said, you know what? If I want to win, I got to go big hat. Believe it or not, I used to tell Chris Shaw, come on, Chris. He was very, very shy. I said, come on, Chris, we're going to go prospecting day. He goes, okay. I said, Chris, if you talk to one person and we talk to 10, I promise I'll give you all 10 to you. You will? I said, come on, Chris, go. We go prospecting? He wouldn't talk to nobody. He'd go the other way. I said, what are you doing? Come on. No, you just don't understand. Today he makes $1.6 million a year.
Wow.
So you can start slow and end up winning. Or you could start fast and decide to listen to the wrong people and not win the way you're supposed to. Get serious with your opportunity. You guys got a coach. You got coaches with Fritz and Tiki. You got, they're moving, they're going to $500,000 right away. Some of you guys will follow, some of you guys will watch, and some of you guys ain't gonna go do nothing. I should hope it's none of you. Let it be the next group. Guys, let's go build this thing. Let's get to that school. Let's go get promoted. I know some of us got recognized today. I should hope every single one of us will be there to support them at that event. Cheerlead the heck out of them. Don't get pissed off because you didn't get promoted. You make sure you get promoted at the next school and you get them to support you for your promotion. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great night.
We got some special hoodies. Team hoodies that we want to give them as well. No, they got their own Iron Kick t-shirt,
Oh.
but we just want to recognize them for coming out. So we got our team hoodie that we want you guys to wear.
Oh.
Represent our team.
That stage like it going shine down. And that bottom workers, like a woman style.
Guys, really quick, as we end the night, I mean, give it up, stand to your feet and give them a roll. And it never gets old. I was in the back fired up. These are my mentors. When I talk to you about in this business, I mean, we talk about uplines, but some of you guys don't know what an upline is. So because that's Primerica talk, but upline is essentially a mentor, like somebody that's willing to pour into you and show you how to grow your business from scratch. And a lot of times when we outside of Primerica, if you open a restaurant across the street from me, it's nobody gonna show me how to open that restaurant, how to run it. Actually, I'm mad that you open your restaurant across the street from me. Okay, I'm mad. I probably try to do something to sabotage it because they're your competition. Primerica has found a way to eliminate competition, and we compete inside Primerica for fun, but we all get to win, right? And you all have that same opportunity. And what do they have? Only thing that they have is the same licenses that you have. So I hope you guys was able to see that you can become very wealthy. These guys are very well. I mean, they're humble today. Trust me. If you get a chance to get 5 minutes, they will be at the leadership school. If you get 5 minutes, they wanted the 15 millionaires, by the way. That they talk about. They actually won that one, right? So if you can catch them, I mean, they didn't have a lot of time tonight, but you could catch them for 5 minutes. When you come to the leadership school, have your book ready. All the questions that you want to ask. Let me tell you something. The tickets is only $20.
Yep.
I know people that pay for mentorship.
$10,000.
$10,000. I mean, I went to some session. You ever heard of Tony Robbins?
Yeah.
I mean, we pay for that stuff. In Primerica, you essentially getting the same, if not better, because they're in the business and they get to show you exactly what they need to do. Not like kind of hint around and give you some ideas and coach you on general success. They actually show you exactly what you need to do in Primerica to make millions.
Grant Cardone.
Grant Cardone.
Right.
No, he was mentored by Hector
Mentored by
Lamar,
Hector Lamar.
who's coming from
Exactly.
school.
Grant
That's what
Cardone
it
is.
is.
Cardone, who charges.
And that-
Was trained by Hector Lamar, who's gonna be at the school.
Yeah, a lot of
Grew before who he is today.
yeah, and a lot of people, you guys don't understand the magnitude of Primerica because people are ignorant to Primerica.
Yeah.
But it's so many things that Primerica have done for people that's successful now. Steve Harvey was one of them,
Yeah.
right? Steve Harvey, his first track,
Dave Ramsey.
Dave Ramsey. What's the lady with the blonde hair?
Susie Orman.
Susie Orman. And that's Oprah Winfrey advisor.
Yep.
You guys know Oprah Winfrey? It's so many people. I mean, the logo, just do it. They stole that from Primerica Nike.
Exactly. Yeah.
I know y'all think we bullcrapping, but we're not. This is really real stuff. Art Williams didn't patent it, and he heard it, and he took it, and he created a company, and they used that for their logo.
Yep.
Just do it. That, if you look, that's Primerica's. So you guys don't understand how big Primerica is, and you get front row access to that this weekend coming. If I was you, and who raise your hand if you think you're smart? Raise your hand if you think you're smart, like you at least Got some brain upstairs. Don't be shy. And you think you smart. Right. If you are smart and you're in this room, the smartest thing to do is to buy your ticket. When? Tonight. Then- Okay. Let me tell you why you gotta do it tonight. Because human nature, we are procrastinators by nature. Who's the procrastinator? By nature, we just wait. We also overthinkers. By nature, we overthink things. Because the minute you hit that door, fear gonna set in. And what Carol Costello was talking about, that's what happened. The minute you hit this front door, like, oh, that was nice, they sound good, but look what I live, look what I, she don't know where I'm from. She know exactly where you're from. Okay, so at the end of the day, you gotta do it while you're in a moment, because what happened is, it's a commitment. And when you commit to do it, then you gotta follow through. And then you get to see what's on the other side, and that's what winners do, and that's what smart people do. If you didn't get your ticket tonight, get it now before you leave, get your seat on the bus. You might say, oh, they got seats, trust me, we won't have seats by tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Okay, we will not have seats by tomorrow morning. Pay for your seat and pay for your ticket, okay? You might say, well, where are we sleeping at and all that other stuff? You have a leader. All the leaders in the room, a district and above have room. And you guys are gonna split it. And it's usually fairly very cost effective. Okay, $40 I'm talking about, $30, $50, why? Because you just need somewhere to crash. You're gonna be having a ball, you're gonna be learning. I mean, some of you guys ain't even gonna make it to the room. Right? I ain't saying no. You know, say some of you guys like to say something.
Real quick, guys, look, there were times when we first got started, we didn't even have the money to go. And I was like, mortgage, the school, mortgage, school. And believe it or not, we went to the school. Because we figured whatever we were gonna learn at the school was gonna give us the opportunity to be able to pay the mortgage and pay the bills and have the lifestyle and have the dream life we've always wanted to. So sometimes when you're weighing your options, the reality, some things have to be held off so that you can actually raise your level of expectance, and not only that, your mind, to give you the opportunity to be able to make more money. Because we were in those positions. There were a lot of times, we had 4 kids. Our kids at the time were 4, 3, 18 months, and one was coming, believe it or not, okay? But the meantime, I could have said, well, I have little kids. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I made the arrangements. We figured it out. So any excuse that you may have, allow it to be on the back burner, because that's the excuse that will keep you from your dream and the dream life that you've always wanted to have, okay? So keep that in mind, because it's too often that we sit there and we make excuses. Call in well. Call your job and say, I'm not really feeling well, call in well.
While you're there.
And now it's in there, oh, now you're making me lie, they want to make you rich. Okay? Look, yeah, well, the Lord's got me. The Lord's trying to give you a message, okay? And we're trying to deliver it, okay? So if you need it to be heard, we're trying to deliver it for you so that you realize that you're meant for greatness and you're meant to have what you're supposed to have. But you gotta sacrifice a little bit for now to have something great. We all did it. And that's what we have to realize. Because I tell you, we could have said that, I really don't have the money, I'm not going. That was the dumbest thing I could have made if I did. But thank God we did that, because every time we went to a school, we learned something new, we implemented, and we actually allowed our business to take it to the next level and realize our income went up, our lifestyle went up, everything. That's why we have the life we have. Everybody that made the sacrifices. Remember, Chris H. the first time he went to the convention, he didn't even have a room. He didn't know how he was going to get there. He didn't have money to eat. He doesn't talk about that, but I'm gonna tell you, I know because I was there, I witnessed it.
That's right.
Okay? And I said to him, he says, I'll just go sit underneath the chairs at the convention. I said, you ain't doing that, you're coming to my room. You're gonna just stay with us, we'll figure it out, we'll make it happen. And lo and behold, he's what he is today. So if he didn't do that, today he would have lived the life that he was living originally, and now he wouldn't live the life he has today. So guys, appreciate the opportunity, your mentors and your coaches. If they're asking you to get there, you need to get there for you. If we don't have nothing to gain, you have everything to gain, okay? So that's basically it. Thanks. Thank you.
If you have $1 million earner in the room, You have a million in a room and they tell you what to do. It's just like anybody else. If you had Michelle Obama, she said, meet me in Atlantic City, how many people would stop and meet them? If you had Jay-Z, Funny Bunny or whatever his name is.
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny. Oh, what else y'all look up these TikTok people, crocodile, YouTubers, and all these other things that you think is important, where those people not helping you pay money. You have it right here. You have it from the mouth of greatness, guys. Let's get to that school. Let's make sure we get our tickets tonight. Let me just see a round of hands who people who do not have their ticket. You don't have your ticket yet. Raise your hand. You don't have your ticket yet. You don't have your ticket, right? Don't play games. Why you going, y'all?
That's the most you'll ever invest in your whole life, and if you don't think so, I will give you your $20 back.
That's right. Let's go. She said, there you go. So you know the infomercial that say guaranteed 30 days?
Money back,
Money back, everything. You got that now. You got everything on it. So go tonight. Keisha, come on, Keisha. Go get your ticket. Go get your ticket, guys. Thank you so
I
much.
think, Doug and Kim, you guys are collecting the bus, raise your hand, guys.
Come up here, guys. These are the bus people. Kim and Doug. These are the bus people. I know you guys love the Zelmy stuff, but then they charge me taxes on it, and then you think like you're doing me a favor, and then over time it's like, I got an extra $10,000 in Zels, and then I gotta pay on that. And, no, God. So please. So guys, these are the people that's collecting for the bus, right? So don't just randomly Zell me or Cash App nothing. Just send it to Doug and Kim. They're gonna be helping you with the seat for the bus.
What do you guys charging for the bus?
$80 round trip.
That's good, 40, that's good.
That's nothing. If you go down to the Chinatown, China bus, we looking at least $100 or something each way.
Yeah.
Each way.
Yeah.
And our buses is better and everybody speak English. What's up? Okay. Stuff Addison. Everybody stuff Addison.
You're not worried, you have a car, divide the gas money and get there together.
There you
That's what
go.
you gotta
There
do.
you go. All right, guys. So thank you so much for coming out. Get your tickets. Get your tickets, young man. It's worth it. Get your tickets, Keisha. Get your tickets in the back. My buddy in the back that was studying. Get your tickets. This Jean Claude, right? Get your tickets. Yeah, Jean Claude. Get your ticket, John Paul. Get your ticket. You got your ticket. Get your ticket. Get your ticket. You got your ticket. Oh, Sharice, it's time, girl.
So Sharice,
Let's go. Come on, Sharice. You know what? That's what gave me the biggest hug. Your son, you know why? Cause he know when he getting treated right. He ain't seen me in a long time. If he ran up to me like I was Santa Claus, it made me feel so good. And you know why? Cause I said, I want the kids to know that they could come to a place where they're welcome. You understand? And it's not a lot of jobs or nobody that's gonna welcome your kids. You understand? So guys, get your tickets tonight. I'll be in the back. Thank you. Nobody leave without tickets. Lock the door.
you know, I want to read Carol Costello. Hey, don't drop nothing like this.